Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at, are they truly happy or is it just a facade? So there are three groups to choose from. Group 1 is the Amethyst cluster. Group 2 is the Amazonite. And group 3 is the Quartz cluster. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps for each group in the description box of the video if you would like to jump ahead. Hi, Group 1. You chose the Amethyst cluster. So I'm going to start with some tarot and oracle cards to get a feel for if this person is truly happy in some kind of a separation, maybe a no contact that you're going through, or is this just a facade that they are putting on? Okay, so we have the Six of Wands, the Sun, the Hermit, Wheel of Fortune, the Magician, the Tower, Ten of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, blessings, protection, attention, love. Your guides are always with you. Crossroads, divergent paths, choices, confusion. Follow your intuition. Perception, red flags, delusion, perspective. See through your own false beliefs. Loss, loss of self and identity. Discover your true self again. Denial, repressed emotions, rejection, unable to see below the surface. And compromise, mutual understanding, flexibility, give and take brings rewards. So this definitely feels like the energy of somebody who feels with the Magician that they have made their own bed, so to speak, and now they must lay in it. With this Wheel of Fortune, I'm feeling that at one point in time, this person may have felt very much like luck was on their side, a choice maybe with this crossroads to move away from this connection, either in the pursuit of another partnership, another person, or perhaps even just in the interest of staying single, resisting commitment, resisting monogamy, just wanting to kind of play the field or see what else is out there. Somebody who maybe was still trying to understand with that Ten of Pentacles what happiness means to them, what it is that they want and what it is that they desire out of life and out of a partnership. That at one point in time, this had really felt like the right choice for them with that, again, Six of Wands and the Sun card here. They felt really good about this decision that they had made, but it seems as though something is really shifting. Their perception is starting to kind of widen. They might be kind of seeing that the grass wasn't greener on the other side, or something is really coming to light for this person with that Hermit and the Star kind of within the lantern there. That maybe the way that they were perceiving a situation, another person, a lifestyle choice, or even the choice to remain single, to kind of turn down this offer of commitment, this prospect of commitment with you. That it's something that has really left them kind of at a period of loss. Their fortunes may have really turned. They could be experiencing with the Tower and the loss, some kind of financial loss, something crumbling down. There could be some other difficulties that are arising in their life, and perhaps a partner that they chose to move in the direction with isn't really there to support them very much. It's somebody who might be with that Seven of Wands, starting to kind of push this person away, or is really resisting kind of getting into the trenches with this person to be maybe a financial support through some difficulty, some kind of emotional support through some difficulty. This feels very much like somebody who feels that they are going through life alone, with all these cards here in solitary figures. This is somebody who is really feeling that the obstacles that are coming up, they're having to battle this single-handedly. So again, if they're in a partnership with somebody else, it doesn't really feel that this person is very supportive of them. They may have really had to compromise their wants and their needs and their desires just to keep kind of the status quo within this connection. They're starting to understand as well that maybe what they had given up by moving away from this connection was in fact the blessings in the Ten of Pentacles, wish fulfillment. That a choice that was made, which for a while, they may have really been in denial about that, about kind of the truth of this connection or the potential in the connection between the both of you. Somebody who kind of had a skewed perception, almost this energy of, being really enticed by something very flashy, something very opulent, something that really presented this very unique and perhaps artificial picture, perhaps this very sort of blinding picture with the sun here of happiness, of wish fulfillment. And it's something that, as that kind of that sheen has had a chance to sort of wear off, as they become accustomed to kind of this environment or this person that they had gravitated toward in the past. Their perceptions of this person, of the true nature of this person, is really starting to change. And so this is somebody who, to a certain degree, still could be operating in some form of denial, trying to kind of turn a blind eye to the fact that a choice that was made with this crossroads card, that it really was kind of moving in the opposite direction of what it is that they truly wanted and desired. But for a lot of you, though, this is starting to come very clearly to the surface. It's something that they really can't deny anymore. They are unable to kind of push these feelings away, push these sort of thoughts and the reality of this away. There's just maybe some glaring examples of, again, a direction that they moved toward, or another partner that they chose perhaps over you, and how this person really, with this Wheel of Fortune, isn't there for them through thick and thin. This person seems to be only there when the times are really good. This is somebody who, has this expectation of this person that they remained at a certain level of kind of vibrance, of optimism, and perhaps this person also with the Hermit could be kind of an introvert, or have a need and desire at times to kind of withdraw, to kind of pull within themselves to sort of figure things out and process. And this person that they could be with doesn't seem very understanding about that. This is somebody who gets maybe very defensive about that, really projects a lot onto this person, and tries to make them feel bad or ashamed for sort of this internal process that they have, this tendency that they have to kind of retreat within, to seek answers, and to really gain the knowledge and wisdom to sort of work their way through difficulties. So this definitely feels like the energy of somebody who is trying to maintain some kind of a facade of happiness with the sun here. But it feels like somebody who, with the Tower and the loss, there's a lot of turmoil going on beneath the surface within this person. Again, a lot of things it feels like are starting to crumble, or even illusions are really starting to crumble for this person. There's a sense of regret, and almost on this Ten of Pentacles card here, there's this figure sort of in the foreground, kind of looking off in the direction of this happy couple, and this almost feels like this energy of kind of this longing, this sort of nostalgia, thinking back on memories, on times with you, on the potential that was there, the good times that were shared, and wherever they are, they're kind of they're almost looking for an escape route, or their mind, their thoughts are distracted elsewhere, not so much focused on the structure that they have built for themselves and the life that they have constructed for themselves. But this is somebody who is definitely, their sights or their heart is focused on another horizon, on something different, on partnership in another form. This is somebody who doesn't really feel content at the soul level with what they have in front of them. Now, also with this Ten of Pentacles, this again could be somebody who, chose to focus on career, on their finances, kind of at the expense of pursuing love, of pursuing this connection. This could also be somebody who chose to stick with a karmic partner in a karmic marriage, maybe out of kind of the interest of finances, or with the Tower card here, something to do with, a housing, a living situation, really kind of not following the call of their heart, comfort and just staying within what was comfortable, what was known, because of a sense of duty, of obligation, or just something really enmeshed with these people's finances. But it's something to where, you know, they're not really satisfied there. Their mind is looking elsewhere. This feels to be somebody with this Six of Wands here, and in this deck it's called Victory. Somebody who really fantasizes about taking decisive action to move in the direction of their highest good, to move in the direction that their heart is calling them. But at this point in time, it seems really in the realm of fantasy. With the Magician, this could be somebody who is kind of in the process of creating this alignment between their heart space, between their logical mind, between, you know, with the Pentacles energy and the Magician, really taking into account, you know, the dynamic of their real world situation. Somebody who could also be in the process of reevaluating the sense of financial obligation to another person, weighing in all these options. We also have this Caduceus here in the corner of this Magician's table. So something could really be taking a toll on their health, on their mental health, on their emotional health, their spiritual health, maybe even for some people for with their physical health, to stay in a situation with the Tower of just, you know, kind of a toxic energy, or a relationship that is really built upon false promises, upon a faulty foundation. There could be a lot of chaos and destruction, a lot of fighting within this connection, if this is a karmic partnership, and it's really starting to take a toll on this person on multiple levels. So this feels like somebody who is starting to kind of shake themselves out of this illusion, a choice that was made in the past that really kind of did not work out in their favor with the Wheel of Fortune here. This is somebody who kind of moved away from good fortune, is kind of almost in this sort of this downward cycle, this downward spiral in their life at this point in time, that whatever they are currently occupied with, whether that's just focusing on work and it's leading to this sense of loneliness, really longing for this deep connection, but not having that, being surrounded by perhaps opulence, and a lot of material success, but really lacking and longing for that deep kind of connectivity. And so if that was the motivation for kind of moving out of this connection, or choosing to step away from this connection in the past, with that Wheel of Fortune, again, it's something where the monetary fulfillment, the success, the accolades, it's just not as fulfilling for them as it once was. And so there's this desire to kind of shift their perspective, shift where they are devoting their energy at this point in time. If this is somebody who, again, chose to move in another direction with, say, a karmic partner, in the direction of another relationship, then they're really starting to come to terms with the fact that they missed out on the opportunity for something really beautiful, something really great, something to where, you know, they really, by taking that action, it really compromised the desires of their heart, the truth of their heart. There could be aspects about your connection that were very unconventional, something to where this person really questioned how you would fit into their world, how this would work, how you could both make this work. You may be very opposite individuals, or just some kind of a difference in your circumstances, to where it was unknown how the two of you could just kind of come together and seamlessly integrate one another into each other's lives. And so by moving in the direction maybe of a partner who was, you know, more in alignment with, you know, their culture, their religion, maybe somebody who was similar in age, somebody that their family approved of, that their friends really thought highly of, somebody who really kind of fit that package, fit that mold, that kind of exterior, that projection of what partnership and a successful relationship should look like. That by doing that, it has really taken them further away from answering the call of their heart. This feels like somebody who is still feeling that. This could be somebody for a while that has really tried to fend off those feelings, really resist those feelings, has operated in this energy of denial for quite some time, that they're very satisfied with where they are, really trying to distract themselves or dilute away, you know, through various forms of escapism. sort of this this nagging feeling within them that a wrong choice was made, a wrong turn was made with this crossroads, that they veered in the wrong direction, and they are now progressively heading further away from their highest good, from what it is that they truly want, what it is that they truly desire. And so this feels like somebody with the Tower here, where this facade is definitely, it's crumbling. It's starting to crumble from the inside out. This is somebody who's taking into account different factors. They don't seem to be somebody who is doing much about this in the material world at this point in time. Although with the Magician, this does speak highly to somebody who is kind of getting all their ducks in a row, kind of taking in this information from all these different aspects, putting the pieces together about what's missing in their life, or what is causing kind of this strain, this stress, this dissonance within themselves. And so the Magician definitely is somebody who, you know, they're not just sitting there thinking about these things. This feels like somebody who is starting to kind of get the wheels turning with the Wheel of Fortune in the direction of doing something about this, of changing their circumstances, of kind of summoning this courage. With the Hermit here, really crystallizing the wisdom out of a choice maybe to move in a direction that was divergent from the calling of their heart, the truth of their heart, and the truth of their soul. And this is somebody who is starting to create a plan, cultivate some kind of hope. Hope that the circumstances that they find themselves in, almost this sense of being very isolated, even if they are in the company of others or in another relationship. This feels like somebody who is very much an island unto themselves in terms of their interior landscape, where again, there's a lot of daydreaming, of longing, of wishful thinking. This person could also be kind of looking at other couples around them, and just, you know, the expression of love is experienced by other people in their world, even through movies, TV, you know, just any kind of source of input. And there's a sense of longing, there's a sense of realization that, you know, the world they have constructed for themselves, the circumstances that they are living in, it's largely shadowy based energy, kind of based on a foundation of fear, a foundation of illusion and masks, that there's a lot of heavy energy there. It's not a sense of comfort, but it's almost this stifling energy that they are surrounded with currently. So even if this is just in relation to somebody who, you know, opted for finances, the pursuit of a job, of a career, of not settling down, not, you know, investing in love, in the interest of pursuing some other type of tangible goal in this life first. It's something that is really leaving them feeling very vacant in terms of deep emotional communion with another person, with another soul. There's this sense of, you know, maybe having all the toys, all the, you know, all the finest things, everything that they could want, and yet there still is this sense of longing. There's this sense of what they've built for themselves. It's just, you know, it's not fulfilling. It leaves them with a sense of lack, with a sense of loss. It's somebody who could, you know, very seriously again be starting to consider kind of walking away from all of this. Kind of moving in the opposite direction of really trying to fend off these feelings, deny the truth, which is very glaring about kind of the choices that were made. And even in this Sun card here, it's definitely, you know, there's this illumination, but kind of the background is very shadowy. And so this really speaks to me about kind of the falsity, the mask, putting on that happy face, that brave face, presenting that exterior of being very content. That is just, you know, it's kind of a distraction or a ruse that is trying to kind of deflect attention away from kind of the denser energies, or kind of this very sort of opaque and shadowy energy that this person is really ruminating on from within. Somebody who, you know, is again just really trying to present the exterior at this point in time of being very satisfied, feeling very confident with the decision that is made. But even in this this Six of Wands, the card of victory, I don't know if you can see that because it's kind of a small image here, but the look on this person's face, this is supposed to be their victory parade, and they look pretty apathetic. This looks like somebody who, you know, is kind of like victory at what cost? What did they really gain here? They may have achieved something, There may be other people around them who are very, proud of them, who are really encouraging them to continue on this path, continue with this choice, applauding them for a choice well made. But within this person, they're starting to have this sinking feeling, this sense of regret, that something is missing, that again, kind of a wrong turn was made somewhere, that they've compromised the truth of their heart, the truth of their soul, their values, what their true desires were, perhaps in the interest of appeasing other people, or keeping some kind of a dynamic intact, maybe with others in terms of family expectations, or some kind of a karmic marriage or karmic relationship that they are in. Really, not joining in on that celebratory energy with others. Somebody who, within is very much kind of being very torn between kind of remaining on this trajectory, remaining on this path, or taking the steps necessary to choose a different road, to kind of course correct themselves from the direction that they are currently headed. So in terms of signs, with the Pentacles, we have Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Wands is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. The Sun is Leo. The Hermit is Virgo. The Tower is Aries. The Magician is Gemini. And the Wheel of Fortune, for me as a reader, is mutable energy, which is Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, and Sagittarius. So I'm going to get some messages from this person's higher self now, group 1, and let's see, what do they want you to know? What do they have to say at this time? Okay, and they say, I just have to do something else right now. Please try and understand. So this definitely is the energy of somebody who is really kind of putting on a front, maintaining a mask, maintaining these illusions, perhaps really tied in with the expectations of others, or a sense of obligation, duty bound is coming through, that's really kind of keeping them in a situation where they feel very stifled. It's kind of taking a toll on them on multiple levels, kind of leading to this sense of feeling very disempowered where they are. And they also say, I'm not the same person that you remember. So this can indicate that a lot of time has gone by since you last kind of interacted with this person. And, despite all of that time, and then maybe, presenting this exterior of being very happy with the way their life is going, that through all that time, there's been this kind of lingering feeling of something being wrong, kind of each day that passes brings them a little further away from the truth of their heart. And they also say, you feel like home to me. So again, this feeling of being really maybe isolated even amongst other people, even while surrounded by other people. There's a sense of being very much out of place, not really fitting in completely with those around them, having to really put on a show, put on some kind of a performance in order to, again, this kind of like this brave face, kind of forcing this happy face, pretending that everything is okay, but this deep longing for something else or somewhere else. So let's see what else they want to say, group 1. All right, and they say, I cherish those moments we spent time together. I miss you. So again, the sense of longing, feeling that a wrong turn was made, a wrong choice was made, that whatever they moved in the direction of, or kind of pushed this connection to the wayside in the interest of, it's something that is really, it's not leaving them with a sense of deep satisfaction. It's in fact leaving them with this sense of really yearning, of longing for something else, for somewhere else other than the environment they currently find themselves. And they also say, I really don't know how to approach you, so that is why it is taking me some time. So they could definitely be filled with a lot of regret, understanding kind of the pain, almost this sense of unnecessary pain that was caused by rejecting this connection, by maybe even choosing somebody else over you in the past. And so it's something, although there's this desire to move back in your direction, they're not really sure how to kind of mend the difficulties, the wounds, the hurts of the past. And they also say, I didn't mean to hurt you. So again, that reference to any kind of pain that was caused by this decision that this person made to move in another direction. It feels like they were very much motivated from, just using the tools that they had at the time, the perceptions that they had at the time. Somebody who very much felt very tied to perhaps some codependent energies, or this energy of people pleasing, of really being concerned with what others would think, whether that was some kind of an expectation of a certain amount of status or wealth that needed to be acquired before love could be made a priority. And that coming just from a place of honest and genuine belief, maybe something that they were raised to believe, an environment that they grew up in, something that they were really enculturated with, this idea of achievement and kind of a certain timeline of events, things that needed to happen before one could really allow themselves to kind of open up, or needing to kind of achieve a certain amount of status or wealth even, in order to be able to attract a partner that was very equally matched in that sense, that could really contribute to this person's goals, maybe even contribute financially to building some kind of dream or maintaining some kind of lifestyle. So there could have even been some kind of a status or a financial difference between the both of you, between where you were in your lives the last time you were dealing with them, that they really maybe unfairly kind of judged and felt that you weren't as, goal oriented as they were, or, you weren't as much in an alignment with a path to kind of material success as they were. And so they sort of rejected this or pushed this connection away in the interest of kind of seeking somebody more in alignment with those same kind of goals and financial interests as them. If this is also somebody where maybe they chose to stay in a karmic relationship and a karmic marriage, out of this sense of kind of duty bound, of this obligation, this being very enmeshed with somebody in terms of finances, that this is something where, they're understanding the hurt that caused, but it was really coming from a place of, recognizing that some kind of a deep degree of loss would be necessary, and at the time not being willing to sacrifice that or to open themselves up to that potential, not really placing as much value on love, or knowing and appreciating the value of love that kind of exceeds all wealth. It's unquantifiable. This was something that at the time it didn't really make sense to this person, but in the silence, in the separation, they have come to place that value and that priority on love, on this connection, kind of, all the sort of creature comforts and the lifestyle, and sort of maintaining that status quo with a partner that, they're not really in alignment with. It's actually taking a greater toll on them. It's costing them peace of mind. It's costing them a sense of self-worth, and of really being able to be their authentic self, really being able to be received and accepted in an open and unconditional way. And so the cost is really outweighing the benefit at this point in time. And it's something to where, they are again acknowledging the hurt that caused you, that confusion and that pain, to be made to feel like a second choice or to not be chosen. But it feels like it was really stemming from just this kind of perspective, this almost ego and pride, this very superficial material perspective at the time about how things looked in a very practical sense, and certain things that they at the time were placing almost too much value on, and were unwilling to kind of relinquish or let go of in order to let love in. So I'm going to get a few more messages from this person for you, group 1. Okay, and they say our love is protected. So this is really speaking to this kind of interior landscape, where this person is, despite this kind of happy face, this content face that they're putting on to those in their environment, to, maybe on social media, that within there's this sanctuary within them where, they dream of a second chance with you. They think of that what if they had made the decision to move in your direction, as opposed to the direction which they actually chose to move. And it's a dream seem that they're not really at the point of wanting to take action about or feeling that they are able to take action. This seems like somebody who's in this planning stage. And so for the time being, they're keeping this very close to the chest, keeping it inside, just being very quiet about that, kind of the sanctuary where they go. This almost feels like somebody who, again, in that kind of energy of somebody who really needs to introspect, that among the things that they are doing, kind of when the pressures of the world that they have built for themselves and the relationships they may find themselves in, when that just gets to be too much, maybe even sometimes it's overlooked when this person just kind of pulls back and sort of retreats within themselves, that the people around them are just kind of oblivious to and don't really care about these fluctuations within this person. This is something where a lot of these relationships, they are constructed out of convenience and kind of the emotional needs, the emotional satisfactions of this person and kind of one another. It's not factoring into this equation. So this person may actually be given quite a lot of opportunity to go within, to kind of muse about the possibilities of what might have occurred between the both of you. And we also have, we are mirroring each other. So this is really tying in with that energy of isolation, feeling very kind of alone, even in a crowded room. And so a lot of these sensations, you might be picking this up from this person. Just this sense of really not resonating with those around you as much anymore, really calling into question the life that you have built for yourself. Kind of as this person had chosen to take a different path away from you, away from this connection in the past, and then the series of choices that you were left with, and maybe just stemming from a place of hurt, you could have gotten into another relationship very quickly as well. Something that, some kind of a karmic partner, or, just something that it's not really a deep soul connection. And so for some of you, that this could very much be kind of a mirrored aspect where you're both in circumstances where, this is not really resonating with you on a soul level, kind of thinking of each other from afar, but not really acting or saying or doing anything, presenting this exterior of being very satisfied where you are, but within the secret heart, the truth is very different from the kind of the presentation that is being put on display. This can also be something where, you're really starting to call into question, if you're not in another partnership, just, what are you doing with your life? What are you, how is the job that you are at? How's that resonating with you? The friends that you keep, the family you're spending time around, the activities, the lifestyle, the values that they have. Are these things really in alignment with your true heart? Or are these things that you've kind of gravitated toward or even settled on in the interest of perhaps pleasing other people, wanting to fit into a certain standard? And so kind of this energy of really evaluating, kind of presenting one thing to the world, but on the inside having this whole kind of rich environment of introspection, and kind of identifying places where, a choice that was made in the past in a variety of ways might not have been in alignment with the highest good, but out of a sense of obligation or duty to others, kind of the expectations placed upon you, that you're both kind of doing this, you're both sort of sifting through this, kind of separating the wheat from the chaff, so to speak, in terms of your life and your circumstances, the things that you surround yourself with, that you devote energy and time to. And they also say you are the one. So that definitely sums up this kind of this energy of longing and really regretting the choice that was made to move away from this connection in the past, feeling very much isolated and alone, even if they are in another connection. So definitely somebody who is, presenting a picture of happiness that is not really in alignment with the truth of their heart, of their soul. It doesn't feel like somebody who is, ready to take action to kind of undo these things or move away from these things tomorrow. But it feels like somebody who, is definitely in this phase of moving out of denial, out of defensiveness, is starting to kind of let down that wall, turn that gaze very honestly within. Somebody who is getting a lot of illumination and clarity about how their actions have really, and the choices that were made in the past have really resulted in sort of this feeling of dissatisfaction and kind of isolation that they are experiencing right now. So this is somebody who feels on the brink of a realization, is kind of in the process of starting to make those plans and preparations about how to make the changes necessary to kind of move away from some of these denser toxic energies, this feeling of apathy, this feeling of kind of disappointment and loss and dissatisfaction, and to move more in the direction of happiness and wish fulfillment for themselves. So I'm going to get a guidance card for you now, group 1, about this connection. What do you need to keep in mind? Okay, and we have patience. Trust the higher forces of life to know what is best for you. And remember that when you are asked to wait, you are being prepared for something even better than you expect. So change your attitude to one of acceptance. Relax and take stock. Ask your angel to enfold you during this waiting period so that you can listen to the promptings of the divine. Do not rush off on some wild goose chase of your lower will. When the time is right and you are ready and refreshed, the next door will open. Patience is always rewarded. And then there's an affirmation. All things happen at the perfect time. So that's a really great message here to, again, really use this opportunity kind of as you're feeling these energetic shifts within this person, you're really picking that up. Take the time to really do that honest inventory of yourself. What's resonating with you? What is raising your vibration versus what is keeping you stuck maybe in kind of self-defeating patterns or an outdated belief system, an outdated way of being? What kind of, people are you surrounding yourself with? And are they really serving your highest good? Or is this something that is very much almost a one-sided or a codependent or kind of a draining scenario? And definitely just kind of gradually take your time to really identify, to sift through these things. This doesn't need to be drastic action where everything is cut off, suddenly one day and then you're left, very much stranded and isolated and alone in a literal sense. This can be definitely just a gradual process of kind of asserting boundaries, of really searching within, seeking to know yourself, to, recognize who it is that you have developed into, that what might have resonated with you previously, finding the ways in which you could have outgrown these things through the work that you've done on yourself, through the ascension that has taken place, through the experiences that you've had in this connection, kind of the difficulties and the pain experienced, and then the doors that were closed by this person or in this situation for the moment, or even for some people, kind of on a permanent basis or a seemingly permanent status there. And then what sort of new roads had that opened for you? What choices were made out of a space of kind of pain or anger and frustration? And where has that led to? Are there any ways that you can see where, a choice that was made maybe stemming out of some kind of a lower density vibration connected to this connection, that's led you to a place, or you're finding yourself now at a place where you're feeling very much stuck, or something that you really relied on to help you get through some kind of difficult times, that maybe that's kind of served its purpose, and now's the time to sort of let that go, to choose a different path, to explore the road less traveled, the choice that wasn't made, to kind of find your way back to that, find your way to that kind of crossroads period with anything that you're not satisfied with in your life. That, understanding we always have the power to change. Every moment is a new opportunity to change. And so taking the steps necessary to do that, really looking within, seeking that guidance from your higher self, from your spirit team, about ways to make the changes necessary to raise that vibration, to get more in alignment with your truth. And both of you also with that mirroring card are kind of in this internal process, this inventory process of kind of finding, of navigating, of constructing a map forward, kind of recognizing where you are, where you've been, how the choices in the past have led you to this present moment, and then determining what you would like your future to look like. So I'm going to get some initials for you now, group 1. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out. All right, so we have Q, R, N, G, A, Z, D, E, X, I, F, and H. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you like the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 2. You chose the Amazonite. So I'm going to start with some tarot and oracle cards to get a feel for, is this person truly happy, maybe in separation or no contact? Or is this just a facade that they're putting on? Okay, so we have the Eight of Pentacles, the Sun, the Chariot, Nine of Cups, Temperance, Justice, Strength, Ace of Cups, karmic partner, conventional relationship, duty, bound by societal conventions, no, the answer to your question is no, journal, write, process, contemplate, understand your sacred journey, offer, gesture, engagement, wedding, rejoice in your union, vibration, energy and positivity, raise your vibration to attract what you desire, and fertility, fresh ideas manifest, growth, plant your seeds. So this definitely looks like somebody who is in this energy of compromise. With the Strength card, it's taking a lot of effort for them to convince themselves that they are happy with the Sun card here. With that Nine of Cups, that they're, it's taking a lot of effort to try to make the best out of the situation in which they find themselves. With this Fertility card, there could possibly be children that are involved in this situation. This could be somebody that they've had a child with, or with that karmic partner, and then this with offer in that reference to wedding. This could be somebody that, and also Justice, this could be somebody that they are married to, that they have children with, that they're sticking with this person for the children. Also with that Sun card here, and this child, kind of doing what they feel will be best for the welfare of the child, or children that are involved, sort of putting their own happiness and satisfaction to the wayside for the time being. Really with the Temperance card, somebody who is kind of forcing themselves to make their own desires secondary to the desires of others. Somebody who, may also, with this Eight of Pentacles, be the primary provider in this relationship financially. There could be a family that they need to support. And so that is really taking precedence for this person over Ace of Cups, love at this point in time. This doesn't feel to be a connection where, kind of deep and abiding soul love is a factor. It could be almost like kind of love that is almost kind of bordering on a platonic love, or love of kind of the role as, maybe this other person is the mother of this person's child or children, or the father of this person's child or children, just depending on the specific circumstances. And so they have love for this person in the sense of this gift of children that this person has given to them, understanding that this person has been kind of a vessel or a vehicle, even with the Chariot here, for this soul being birthed in the form of this child, or children. And so it's something where there's some respect involved with that. More than love, it definitely, with the Strength card, it feels like, respecting the role that person plays to, this circumstance in regards to any kind of children. But definitely with the No card here, they're not really truly happy. This feels like somebody who's kind of put their own happiness on the back burner, out of a sense of duty and obligation. That a promise may have been made at one point in time. This person could be somebody who, with the Justice card, and especially with this blindfold here, maybe even culturally would not consider the kind of the notion of divorce, or, you know, has this sense of obligation because they've had a child with somebody, somebody's gotten pregnant, they've gotten somebody pregnant, or they themselves have become pregnant. That there's this sense of, you know, wanting to create this intact family, wanting to keep that family together, wanting to kind of work to preserve that family unit. And so it's very much kind of at odds and a contrast with the truth of their heart, with the truth of their soul, where, you know, emotions, deep and abiding love is not really factoring into this situation. It could also be something I'm kind of feeling with this fertility card here, and just, I mean, this plant is very fecund, but it's also very small. It's kind of in this very, you know, it's a giant, it could be a giant tree, but it's almost kind of dwarfed within this pot, within this containment. And so this feels like somebody who, you know, their dreams have almost been stifled in this connection, or the potential that this person could have really developed into. They've chosen to kind of limit that, to sort of cut that off, to really kind of stifle the limits of love that they had the potential to grow into, to experience kind of the bounty and the sweetness and richness of that. And this feels like somebody who is instead kind of chosen to contain themselves, to sort of hold themselves captive, or keep themselves in a situation where there's not a lot of room to grow, there's not a lot of room to explore, to kind of blossom into that fullest expression of self. Somebody who just kind of makes do in the situation that they're being placed in. Somebody who, to a certain degree, is able to thrive. They're able to kind of achieve their purpose to a certain degree. They're able to, you know, provide some kind of abundance, some kind of nourishment, maybe even the sense of literally, you know, making money to provide nourishment, food for other people, pay the bills and so forth. But it's just a sense that there's so much more potential to this person. They feel very much like somebody who has been kind of restricted or constricted in terms of the expression and experience of their soul in this lifetime. With this vibration card here, this is somebody who also, with the sun card, is really just, you know, trying to make the most of this situation, trying to make the best of the circumstances. This could be somebody who is also kind of biding their time, maybe waiting for their children to come of age before they even would consider moving in another direction, before they would even consider exploring the truth of their heart. That at this point in time, that's not factoring in. They're very much just keeping focused on the obligations that they have in front of them, the duties that they have in front of them, the expectations that are in front of them. Somebody who could really be limiting themselves to kind of focusing on work at the expense of pleasure. Somebody who works very hard, or is kind of using work or this sense of duty and obligation, these material aspects, to really distract them from the fact that they are not living in resonance with the truth of their heart, with the desires of their soul. This does feel like the Chariot was somebody who has this urge to move in the direction of that, to move in the direction of this truth of their heart, move in the direction of this connection with you. But for whatever reason, most likely, again, a sense of obligation, perhaps children that are involved, some kind of a karmic marriage, some kind of a contractual obligation. Even if there aren't children involved yet, this could even, I'm feeling with this could even be somebody who's just engaged to somebody else. They haven't even, gone through the whole process of a wedding, but a promise was made at some point in time. And then you may have come into this person's life as kind of a wild card, an unexpected factor that has really created a crossroads or a period of choice or a potential of change. But at this point in time, this person is just, they're really sticking with that. They're sticking with that promise. And in a certain way, this is very admirable. This is somebody who makes a promise and sees that through. Somebody who really sticks with things. Somebody who, moves in the direction of what they feel is right, what they feel is, the right choice. Somebody who is not operating from a selfish perspective, but in fact, a very selfless perspective, really putting the needs of other people or the feelings of other people, prioritizing that over their own needs and their own feelings. And just in this particular circumstance, though, unfortunately, it's really, it kind of feels at the sort of at the loss of both of you, that because this person feels to be somebody that is very much, they stick with the promises that they make, that although their, you know, their heart was just very much gushing and overwhelming with this love and this sensation for you when you crossed paths with them, when they met you, and there was this temptation to move in this direction, to really explore that, to allow this love to nourish them, to kind of quench them on a deep level that they may not have been accustomed to. That this sense of, again, duty or obligation or a promise that was made to somebody else, that, you know, they're honoring that, they're sticking with that, they're seeing that through to the end, and definitely moving in the direction that is not, it's kind of a way, it's stifling the potential of what could have existed between the both of you, what could exist for this person in their life. But again, it doesn't feel like something where there's a lot of love necessarily on as deep of a, it's certainly not as deep of a level as what they have experienced with you. There's love to a certain degree here, but it's more out of a sense of obligation, of wanting to do the right thing. Not wanting to be perceived as somebody who is unreliable, or somebody who, you know, just kind of pulled the rug out from other people. Again, children could strongly be a factor here, or something even from their childhood that was really ingrained in them. Perhaps even just, again, this kind of resistance to the idea of divorce, that doesn't even factor in for them, or, you know, this sense of, if they are engaged to someone, that's a promise, that's a commitment that they must see through. They could be getting pressure from family to really follow up on this obligation, on this promise that was made. And so it's something where, you know, they're acting and moving in direct contrast with the true desires of their heart. So to a certain degree, this feels like a facade, but it feels like somebody who is really placing their own happiness on the back burner. They're not allowing their own happiness, what they truly want for themselves. They're not allowing that to weigh heavily into their decisions. It's really the kind of the happiness and the comfort and the needs of other people as they perceive them. With this journal card here, you know, this person could definitely, they could be contemplating. They could definitely be considering the what ifs. It feels like something where, you know, a crossroads at one point in time was reached. You know, they met you, something was sparked within them. There was this urge to express themselves, to express the truth of their feelings, of their heart. That urge still exists within this person. It's something that they may be having to kind of fight off or fend off, again, with distracting themselves with work in order to not focus on this desire that they have to really communicate to you that they have a lot of love. They feel something very profound, something definitely very, you know, kind of next level. It's almost these feelings that are bursting forth from this person's heart space. But they're remaining very still amongst that. They're just kind of observing this, not taking action upon that, not feeling that it would be appropriate to take action upon that. So this feels like somebody who has, you know, really hesitated, who has really left a lot of unanswered questions, not provided a lot of explanation. Somebody who is on kind of the brink of expressing themselves but is holding back. Somebody who, I'm also feeling this definitely kind of ties in with the blank page here, and this little fruit tree in this pot, that, you know, this is somebody who even creatively could be kind of stifled in the environment that they are in. Somebody who, you know, has maybe an artistic sense, these artistic inclinations, but they could be kind of settling or trapped in a very just kind of mundane, routine sort of job to pay the bills. They're in a circumstance, or they're with somebody who doesn't really encourage that side of them, doesn't really encourage them to express themselves. They may not have grown up learning how to express their truth, express their emotions. They could have really been taught to kind of stuff that down or suppress that in the interest of the greater good of others. Kind of the needs of the individual being secondary to kind of the needs of the larger whole, the larger group or unit. And so it's something where this feels like somebody who just, they have a lot of untapped potential in them. This vibration, this connection with you, what is sparked within this person. It's definitely awakened something that could have been very unsettling for this person. There could have been a large degree of nervousness in them, this uncertainty, because they felt this urge to sort of change directions, to change their priorities, to kind of leave some things behind or move in the direction, answer that call of their heart. But this feels like somebody who's very much unaccustomed to that. They're at a loss for words. They don't know how to communicate that, how to express that. They don't know how to advocate for themselves because they are so used to kind of meeting the needs of other people, meeting the needs and expectations of others. Almost having a script presented to them of, this is what your life will look like. This is the type of partner that you will be with. This is how a relationship should go. Or if it's something where, it's a marriage, you say I do and that's forever. That divorce or separation is not a possibility. It's not something which factors in for this person. So somebody definitely who, again, happiness doesn't really feel like a factor here. Is this somebody who's content? Is this somebody who, derives a certain amount of joy and kind of security and fulfillment out of their circumstance? Yes, especially if there is children involved. They like the fact that they are in their children's lives. They like the fact that maintaining whatever this kind of situation is, that it allows them that very direct access to be a very active role in parenting. This is somebody who, is definitely, they consider that their primary job, is being a parent, is making sure that they're sacrificing, they're doing what they need to do, kind of just focusing on that, sort of the material needs and the material security of their children, wanting to provide the best opportunity for their children. And unfortunately, it's coming at the expense of, at least at this point in time, of this person's own well-being. Somebody who's not really seeing that they could in fact be kind of a great inspiration and a great service to their children by demonstrating what happiness looks like and what happiness feels like. This could be an environment that is kind of cold, kind of removed, and although sort of the material needs are met, there's a lack of emotional connection. There's a lack of sort of emotional expression between these partners, and that's something that these children will pick up on. These children will kind of template that into themselves as they are learning what love is, what partnerships look like, and this could be a cycle that has repeated for this person that they have learned through their own upbringing. It could be kind of a multi-generational thing where love and affection was not really a factor, although material needs and just kind of going through the day-to-day motions, that is all that is really demonstrated. So somebody who, in their heart of hearts, there is a longing for more, there is a yearning for more, but this is somebody who, again, I'm just especially drawn to this blindfold here. They're shutting themselves off to that. They're shutting their mind off to that. They cannot see that or perceive that. They are unwilling to perceive that at this point in time. Perhaps, again, waiting for children to come of age, or just the place that they are at, the stage they are at in their development or their belief system, where certain promises are made or marriages or contracts are entered into, and it's an obligation that must be seen through to its conclusion. That once that kind of signing on that dotted line, that's it. There's no option to kind of deviate from that. And so kind of also with this no card, that, sort of like, no, the emotional needs, the emotional satisfaction of the individual is secondary to the emotional, or kind of the tangible needs, the practical needs, the expectations or the parameters of some kind of a dynamic, a contract, or a relationship with others. So in terms of signs, with the Strength, we have Leo. Pentacles is Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. The Sun is also Leo. The Chariot is Cancer. With the Cups, we have Water, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Temperance is Sagittarius, and Justice is Libra. So I'm going to get some messages from this person's higher self for you now. Group 2, what do they want to say? All right, and they say, I have never forgotten you, even though you think I have. So in their heart of hearts, they definitely were very affected by this connection, very affected by you. You awoke something within this person, or awakened something, excuse me, within this person. You sparked something. You really activated them on a heart level. It almost feels like this energy of these gushing emotions that they weren't used to, kind of feeling and experiencing love on a deeper level and layer than they thought was possible. And that could have been very triggering for this person, because it was in such direct contradiction to kind of a standard or a lifestyle that they had made, that they were living in, that they were existing in. And so as much as they may have tried to push this away, push you away, deny feelings, deny this connection, deep within them, in the place, that's kind of beyond ego, beyond sort of material, beyond senses of obligation and duty, there's a lot of love that still reverberates for you within them. And they also say it's easier to just stay away right now. So this can tie into a sense of maybe obligation about children, waiting until children are of age and are out of the house before this person will really consider doing something about maybe kind of an unhappy or just sort of a lackluster situation with another person. So at this point in time, it's just, it's easier, it's more comfortable to sort of stick with what they had signed up for before they met you, what they had agreed to, the situation that they had gotten themselves into, to just kind of stick with these kind of prescribed values or expectations that have been kind of placed on them or enculturated within them through their religion, through their family and upbringing. And they also say, I can't handle your words right now. So this is really tying in with that blank page in the journal. This person is at a loss for words. They almost feel that if they were to talk to you, even just in a casual sense, that these feelings that they have for you, they would not be able to hold these back. So this could be somebody who's really avoiding this connection, avoiding contact with you altogether. Out of this, it's all they can do to really keep this balance within themselves, is to kind of turn a blind eye to things, to try to ignore this, to try to push this away, ignore the feeling within them, this persistent feeling your energy, these thoughts of you, somebody who's constantly kind of swatting those things away throughout the day, somebody who's maybe overly focusing on work or working on things extra hard just as a way to kind of distract themselves, kind of fill their mind with other things, so that kind of the persistent chatter of their heart can be a little less apparent to them. And so as much as they feel that if they were to even talk to you, even just a very simple conversation, that it would sort of open these floodgates again. Somebody who doesn't really feel very confident in the long term that they could resist these feelings. They're almost looking at this as kind of a temptation or sort of a risk to their security, to the life, to these duties and obligations that they have for themselves. So kind of staying in the silence, kind of staying away is the best method that they have at this point in time, that they have figured out, as far as kind of maintaining this balance and continuing to show up and provide in all the ways that they feel that they must for the present circumstances. So let's see, what else do they want to say, group 2? All right, and they say, I miss your touch. So this is really talking about that secret heart, kind of below the layers, as much as they might try to distract themselves, that there is this longing, something within them has awakened. You've made them aware of a deeper capacity of love, a new definition, a new layer of love than they ever knew was possible. And so there's this urge to move in your direction, but at the same time, somebody who just, again, kind of putting their needs secondary, and this feels very normal and acceptable to this person to kind of have these dreams deferred. It could definitely be something with that sort of reference to children, something from their childhood that they grew up witnessing of parents that maybe put dreams on hold, even this kind of this idea of sort of artistic dreams or some kind of a lifestyle in that nature, a creative lifestyle, kind of putting these things on hold, deferring these things, not pursuing these things in the interest of more tangible and sort of what other people deem realistic goals and pursuits. And they also say, I want you in my life. I see you as my future. So this can tie in with kind of this person just doing what they have to do for now. Maybe if they, have children and they are really concerned with keeping the family unit intact while the children still live in the house, not even considering exploring the possibility of sort of breaking away from this situation until a later date and time. This can really confirm that with this, the energy of the future, and something to where, it feels like very much wishful thinking, the possibility of doing something different than what they are doing. It feels very far off in the future, if at all, for this person. It feels like something that they're trying to just focus on the very immediate circumstances in front of them, also as a way to kind of distract from kind of the magnitude of these feelings that are sort of bubbling up from within them, that the safest thing that they can do, the only thing they can think to do at this point in time, is just really focus on what's in front of them and kind of repress or deny this urge to kind of look too far in the future or to dream of a life other than what they are experiencing at present. And they also say, I'm afraid to open up to you. I don't want to get hurt. So more of that energy of kind of the blank page, being at a loss for words, feeling most comfortable in the silence. This can also really talk about not wanting to get hurt, in terms of being a little afraid of sort of compromising the security, the situation, the lifestyle that they have right now, a domestic situation, that to take a chance on this, to take a risk with opening up, with exploring these feelings, there's a possibility you could reject them. And if they do this, then they feel that there would be no returning to these present circumstances, that just kind of leaving this connection in this aspect of mystery, of not knowing, that's the safest place, because then it sort of guarantees the perpetuity of the very tangible situation that they have in front of them right now. So I'm gonna get a few more messages for you, group 2. What does this person want to say? All right, and they say mistakes are the soul's lessons. So for a lot of you, this person could have made a choice to stay in a marriage, stay in kind of a situation, maybe for the interest of children or out of a sense of duty or obligation. And there's definitely a sense within them that they are also trying to push away of having made sort of the wrong choice of, whatever decision was made, maybe it was made from a really, a very good place, a place of integrity, but it definitely is not in alignment with the desires of their heart, the desires of their soul, that calling, that push for something more, to sort of raise their vibration in a sense of moving towards joy. Somebody who's not really at this time able to kind of conceptualize or understand that by, pursuing and cultivating a vibration of joy, they can show up as a more inspiring and uplifting version of themselves to those that they care about. Kind of that energy of really being a living example for their children, of following their happiness, following their highest good, not settling, not staying in sort of a situation where there's tension, or it's very artificial, or there's a lack of love. Somebody who, is really, they're not understanding that as much as, as that's very admirable to want to provide, an intact family, a very predictable living situation for their children, but there are also kind of other things that the children are picking up on based on the dynamic between the two adults, the two parents in that circumstance, that is really shaping these children's ideas about what love should look like, what love should feel like, what kind of the duty and obligation to the individual, being true to oneself, how that takes priority over the expectations of others. So it's almost cultivating this energy of sort of people-pleasing and codependency, that this person is kind of at a deep soul level. They're recognizing that for kind of one benefit that's provided, there's also a downside. There's also something else which comes along with that. It's kind of like the shadow along with this very admirable and very kind of upright intention that they have of doing the best doing the best by their children, doing the best that they can to provide them with opportunity and so forth. But on a certain level, it also is coming then with a price of kind of these intangible energies, these patterns of behavior that are then kind of passed on to the children and then become their task. It then becomes their burden to kind of break those cycles, break those habits in their own life, to kind of step away from that, or to repeat that same kind of series of experiences in their own adult life. So it's something where, this person, they're kind of just doing what they need to do at this point in time, but it doesn't really feel good. And again, they really have kind of put their own happiness and satisfaction secondary. They're trying not to focus on that at present. And they also say, I often think of our last intimate times together. So you're definitely still on this person's mind, as much as they may try to kind of push this away, the thoughts, the wonderings, the what ifs. What if they'd taken a chance? What if they had, kind of freed themselves from this situation that contains them and taken a chance on love, allowed themselves to be really kind of nourished and nurtured by that energy that was available to them? What would that look like? But it feels like it's very much in the realm of almost a guilty pleasure of thinking about that. It's something which there may be times when this person allows themselves to indulge, but then they feel very guilty. They almost feel like they drown in that. They're drowning in that possibility, that sense of longing and regret for choices not made. And they also say, our love's protected. So with that Ace of Cups also, they're definitely, there's a flame for you within them. This is not somebody who has moved away from this connection out of a lack of feelings. It is perhaps most likely the opposite, that they felt very deeply for you, and it was very much in contrast with belief systems that they had or other circumstances that they had in place in their life. And the separation and the distance, it's not a measure of their lack of feelings for you. It's in fact almost an aspect of the deep and intense feelings that they have, that they've needed to push you so far away and kind of cloister themselves off from this, from exploring this, from expressing this, or even having you in their life at all, out of this fear that to even have a casual conversation with you, they would be overcome. To allow themselves even just a drop of indulgence in your energy, in your presence, in experiencing you in the physical reality, they don't know that they'd be able to contain themselves. They wouldn't be able to kind of go back to the way things were in this other situation. They're feeling that they wouldn't be able to show up in all the ways that they feel they need and must do, or that are expected of them to kind of address and tend to these other responsibilities that they have. So they're definitely, it feels like somebody who has really tried to take these feelings and put them in a box on a secret shelf within their heart. And from time to time, they open that box, they explore that, they look at that. But then it almost gets to be too overwhelming, too enticing. Something kind of draws them back to their present circumstances. And there's a sense of guilt associated with that. Guilt for even considering putting their own needs above the needs of others, or to try to find a way to kind of incorporate the needs of everybody, to make space in their life for their own needs and others' needs to be met. That this person has, it feels like a very difficult time kind of thinking outside of that parameter, thinking outside of the box. And so they keep this very much contained and within them. But for a lot of you, there is this kind of this thought and this that they have of they'll sort of readdress these things in the future. And just if children are involved and it's a matter of waiting till the children are of age, obviously for some of you, that could not be very far off in the future. But for others, that could be, these could be young children, and we're talking a substantial amount of time here. So that might not be very realistic or feasible. But this feels like somebody almost in a sense that they would always treasure this potential, this feeling, this sensation with you, although presently they don't feel equipped or that it's the right thing to take action in this direction. And so they're almost choosing to kind of focus on the opposite, on this situation, on a circumstance where, romantic love of this caliber, this soul bond, that this doesn't even factor into things, doing what they must, fulfilling their obligations, meeting up to those standards, that duty, that sense of duty, and kind of not allowing their own kind of happiness and contentment to really be taken into account at this present time. So I'm going to get a guidance card for you now, group 2, some advice about this situation. Okay, and we have discernment. Discernment means sensing what feels right or wrong, trusting your judgment and acting on it. Your angel guidance is to look at the people and situations in your life now and respond to your gut feeling. Learn to develop your intuition and ask the angels to help you discern the good from the bad. They will prompt and guide you. You will feel safer, happier, stronger, and clearer. Angel wisdom reminds you that when you can be trusted to use discernment, you can serve the universe in great ways. And the affirmation is, I trust my intuition. So this is really some guidance as far as if this is somebody that you're waiting for them to kind of complete their duties, complete their sense of obligation, to really break away from maybe belief systems about divorce or, about kind of keeping a family intact. You're really being advised to kind of look within and this person seems to be in the energy of presently denying kind of their own personal happiness for the needs of others. And, it's kind of, you're being called to see, are there ways in this circumstance or other areas of your life where you are also sacrificing your own personal happiness for kind of the needs and expectations of others? If this person has directly or is indirectly through their silence expressing to you that now's not the right time, they need more time, and you're putting your life on hold for that. You're sacrificing your ability to experience joy and love and abundance in the interest of wanting to be there, wanting to be available when and if this person chooses to kind of change the trajectory of their life, to make other decisions, or kind of waiting for this nebulous period of time where the children are old enough to understand if the parents break up, or the children are old enough to move out of the house, or just any kind of number of things that could be a factor here. And so sort of leading by example, you can energetically sort of create this option for this person by moving out of that energy of stagnancy in your own life, choosing to really take back your power from situations where you really have relinquished that to kind of the whims and desires of others, the timelines of others, taking a very proactive approach in your life to kind of move away even from belief systems that were really templated within you, were really imprinted within you from other people, but that aren't in resonance with your higher good, the call of your soul, the call of your heart, that don't make you feel like you're living your best life, or that you are in some way stifling your potential in the interests of appeasing others or kind of living up to a certain standard or expectation. So trust your intuition in that sense. If you feel really called to wait, to allow this person more time, definitely, follow that. That's the best kind of gauge, is that inner knowing, that inner sense. But by that same token, if your intuition is telling you that now is the time to move forward, to move on, to open yourself up to other possibilities in love, then that's, the guidance that you should be following. And, for some people, when you make this shift, this person, depending on how, deeply entwined your souls are, they will feel that vibration. They will feel that shift. They will feel that chasm open up, that distance between the both of you, where they may have been really accustomed to kind of this constancy of the energy of you just waiting in perpetual, like right there with them. When they feel that kind of space open, that can be the catalyst that is necessary for them to create change, to move in the direction, to kind of follow that light toward their happiness, which at this point in time, they may just be kind of sensing or perceiving that as a constant, as something that's always there, almost this energy of kind of taking it for granted, not being motivated to make much change or to do anything different. Because there's no kind of force of movement that is taking place around them. Everything is just, they're able to just kind of maintain this status quo for all the different aspects and elements and dynamics of their life. So the most important thing is that you're leading by example for this person and really pursuing that own personal happiness, pursuing your own joy, not denying yourself fulfillment in the interest of kind of the expectations of others, or kind of this projection of what you feel that things in your life should look like in a variety of ways. So this can definitely be an experience that can catalyze that for you, some kind of a shift in your vibration, kind of stepping into that higher vibration of empowerment, and understanding that you are worthy and deserving of an abundance of love and a reciprocity of love and a very high vibrational love, either in the form of this person or another in this lifetime. So I'm going to get some initials for you now. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Okay, so we have M, I, K, S, G, D, O, W, R, Z, U, and C. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 3. You chose the Quartz cluster. So I'm going to start with some tarot and oracle cards to get a feel for this person is truly happy in kind of separation or no contact from you, or is this just a facade that they're putting on? Okay, so we have Death, 3 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups, 10 of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, 4 of Swords, transformation, breakthrough, reinvention. You're ready for the next level. Stuck, block, third party, silence, barrier. Shift your focus to clear the energy. No. The answer to your question is no. Divine timing, patience, perseverance, peace, trust that the divine knows when. Vibration, energy, and positivity. Raise your vibration to attract what you desire. And observe, social media, fascination, curiosity, watching from a distance. So this definitely feels like somebody who has a lot of guilt and shame about what occurred in the past between you. There's a burden that they are carrying around with this 10 of Wands of words that were left unspoken, or perhaps the words that were said, and like with that Death card, the ending that resulted between the both of you. With the 3 of Pentacles, there's this sense of this person really having to kind of build from the ground up, that some foundation was torn asunder by a choice that was made to move in a different direction or move away from this connection. This can really also be somebody who, if they are in a karmic situation, a relationship with another person, it feels like they're really carrying the weight of the responsibilities largely themselves. This feels like a situation where it's not really an equal give and take. They could really be with somebody that, you know, is kind of codependent or relies heavily upon them to kind of meet the necessary sort of duties and responsibilities and obligations as far as bills, as far as providing lifestyle structure. Somebody who's kind of needy, who really calls upon this person to do everything for them, but isn't really participating, isn't really helping. Somebody who's also kind of maybe judgmental as well, really critical of this person. Somebody who, you know, keeps kind of a watchful eye on this person, almost keeps them under lock and key. There's a sense almost of kind of servitude here, where this person really feels that they've got the weight of this connection, all these burdens that they are carrying by themselves, with no help in sight, that there's this expectation that they just take care of everything. This person could again just be kind of codependent, or just really focused on themselves, focused on other things. For some people, there's also this sense of that this person that they are with might be seeing other people as well. And they're just kind of, this person might even be, flirting with other people, entertaining other relationships, or have their sights set on somebody else, almost somebody who kind of uses people as sort of stepping stones to what they want, and that at some point in time, this person was a stepping stone to a certain lifestyle, a certain level of being, somebody of convenience that really met this person's needs, but then that sort of got old, that sort of got tired, and so this person could have their sights set on somebody else, could be kind of directing their attentions, their energies towards others, other than this person at this point in time. And it's something that's really, it's kind of left this person with a sense of sort of defeat, of being really stubborn to, kind of with what they have, feeling that it's very kind of insufficient, it's lacking, but it's all that they have. Somebody who really doesn't see a way beyond the choice that was made in the past, maybe to again choose this kind of third party or this other person over a connection with you. Somebody who's not really recognizing the opportunity to change course, to change directions. Somebody who's just kind of stuck, as this card says, literally, feels very blocked, feels very trapped in the decision that they have made, feels that they have really walled themselves in based on actions or decisions of the past. There is a sense of really daydreaming, of even perhaps kind of watching you from afar, observing from afar, thinking about the what ifs. What if they had made a different decision? What if they had made a different move in a different direction? Somebody who is really recognizing you as this wish fulfillment, physically, that they're very attracted to you. They're seeing a lot of compatibility there. They're recognizing this connection as something that, had really the makings to become something very solid, become something very stable, something that's very emotionally fulfilling, but that a choice was made in the past that kind of moved them in a sort of the wrong direction. This right here with the no card, in terms of the question, are they truly happy? And this, speaks for itself. No, they are not truly happy. This feels like somebody who really isn't even being very, it's kind of it's very tenuous, the sort of facade of happiness that they put on. It's something that's very shaky. It's something which, they also could kind of just, they're starting to be sort of careless with it, or not really care what people think, if people understand how deeply unhappy they are. They're starting not to hide that anymore. A shift is taking place within this person. They could definitely be sort of withdrawing from their interests, kind of a part of their personality is sort of retreating into this very shadowy energy. Changes are happening within this person. This person could be experiencing a lot of sort of fatigue and malaise and just depression, bouts of depression even, that are just keeping them very bedbound, just feeling very trapped within their thoughts of what happened in the past, very much burdened by that. There is this desire with this transformation card, and also the energy of rebirth that is kind of embedded in the death card. There's a desire to kind of take a new turn, to move away from this present circumstance, to step away from the situation where, it doesn't seem to be two people who are equally giving and taking, but one person who seems to be taking more than they are contributing. That this person is kind of, they're moving more into the energy of putting an end to this, closing out that chapter, moving away from that person, from that partnership, raising their vibration by taking their power back, asserting themselves, really expressing their needs, setting some ultimatums for this person, which I feel that they're recognizing that this person is not really going to respond to. There could also be a facade of things going really well between the both of these people, but in all actuality, you know, this other person has met somebody else. They could be in this process of maybe even kind of dissolving their finances, maybe kind of thinking about a new place to live for both of them. It's kind of in the works, the sort of breaking apart of these people, perhaps even very mutually, but that might be something which they aren't necessarily putting on social media yet. It's not apparent yet. They haven't made that announcement, that official breakup yet, but this could very much be in the works for both of these individuals, that both of them feel very stuck and feel very discontent, very burdened by this connection. What might have even seemed like wish fulfillment for the both of them, that, you know, when they got together, this kind of deep incompatibility definitely revealed itself, where their goals, their desires, their dreams are very much not in alignment with one another. This almost feels like the energy of two people, one with maybe kind of practical or money as their main focus, as their main priority, and another person with love as what they are wanting, what they are desiring. And so two people who are not necessarily on the same page. They don't have the same goals, they don't have the same desires, they don't have the same definition of happiness or the path to happiness. This could be something as well where, you know, a lot of tears are being shed, maybe privately by this person, in kind of, again, this energy of depression that they could be in, this sense of loss, of feeling that they really jeopardized an opportunity with you in the past by making this decision to kind of move in another direction. Something to where, you know, they're kind of biding their time as well in order to make this shift. Certain things that need to play out with this divine timing card. Maybe it's a divorce, or again, something with finances that are enmeshed. Things where, you know, maybe they need to find another place to live. They need to, you know, relocate. Plans are needing to be made. Certain things, other cycles need to kind of play out, carry out, come to completion before they are able to really take that step to really unstick themselves from the position that they find themselves. But this does feel like somebody who is very proactively and kind of behind the scenes, making these plans, making these very secret preparations, you know, even perhaps online, to kind of extricate themselves financially from this person, or, you know, even with this phone here, kind of maybe looking up other places to live, places to relocate, maybe looking for job opportunities elsewhere, kind of as maybe even sort of an excuse to sort of move away from this person, understanding that this person has, you know, a certain life or a certain series of obligations in a particular place. They've made clear that they're not interested in following this person on this journey, and yet this person is pursuing that anyway. Trying to really get all the sort of ducks in a row in order to be able to make that move, to, even with this Three of Pentacles, maybe to have to rebuild their life from the ground up, kind of set out on this very solo mission, on this very solo journey, sort of giving a rebirth to themselves, sort of burning this connection to the ground and allowing themselves to become that phoenix from the ashes, to step more into their authenticity, to step away from a choice that was made or a partner that was chosen, maybe even some kind of you know, like a third party, some kind of karmic energy, or you know, just something that a relationship that's not really going anywhere. It doesn't really have any kind of lasting value. As this person is really thinking about their current circumstance, they're seeing themselves with somebody else, that the right partner for them in the long term, it's not the person that they're with, it's somebody else. It's, you know, their mind is kind of in that direction. This could also be somebody who's really thinking back on the times they shared with you, the potential that was there with you, recognizing you through this choice that was made, that kind of let them into this space of feeling very stuck and very burdened and very alone. Kind of pursuing goals alone, or not being in alignment with this other person, with those goals and dreams. That as that is becoming apparent, then it's causing this period of reflection and introspection, where it's becoming more clear to this person the ways in which the two of you were more in alignment in terms of, you know, your personalities, your goals, your lifestyle, your work ethic, your work habit, maybe even kind of your financial compatibility with this person, or kind of this energy of both being driven, both being very abundant-mindedly people. Whereas this person that they are with could definitely have something where they almost fetishize money, where that is kind of the priority for them, is sort of this opulence, versus kind of what is very satisfying on a deep and emotional level. Somebody who's not really concerned with sort of giving back or making a contribution to others, but merely kind of engages in activities or jobs which pay well. That's all their interest is kind of this very self-serving motive to be able to acquire money, acquire things, and kind of this factor of giving back, of maybe healing or helping others, or doing something that will have an impact on the world, kind of helping to make the world a better place, working to kind of fix and correct some problems in the world around them, in their immediate environment, that this doesn't factor into this other person's priorities or goals. And so it's something that's very much, it feels not in alignment with this person. So again, very much somebody who could just kind of be putting on this sort of this air that everything's fine. It feels like somebody who may have even gone kind of quiet on social media. They're not putting a whole lot. There's a lot of mystery here. There's a veil here. It can be kind of apparent that something is going on, but it's not quite obvious what's going on. Whether that's something personally with this person, something within the connection, some kind of combination of both, that there's a lot of mystery that surrounds this person at present. But they feel very much on the brink of taking action, of creating a new start for themselves, moving more in the direction of their heart's desire, perhaps even reaching out with some kind of an offer, some kind of an apology, some kind of explanation that they made the wrong choice in the past. Somebody who, through their action of even unsticking themselves from a circumstance where they're not in vibrational alignment with this person, it helps to unstick where the connection between you is at presently. It opens up the possibility and potential for a new beginning. It opens the door to a rebirth between the both of you. Somebody who maybe thought the grass would be greener on the other side and has now gotten this confirmation through experience that it was not, that what they've been doing, who they've been surrounding themselves with, is not in alignment with their highest good, but could have been something that was very kind of superficially motivated, or something which, they're recognizing this as kind of a lesson learned, that their cycle with this person that they are with maybe has really come to a completion. They've had the experiences, all of them, that they need to have in the material world, in terms of kind of this emotional or almost the spiritual weight, the heaviness of the experience that they're having. It's burdensome, and they're wanting to put down these burdens to close out this cycle, to really kind of seize the opportunity to reinvent themselves, to move more in a direction in alignment with their highest good and with their truth and authenticity. So in terms of signs, with the swords, we have air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Death is Scorpio. Pentacles is Earth, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. With the cups, we have water, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. And the wands is fire, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So I'm going to get some messages now from this person's higher self for you. Group 3, what do they want to say? All right, and they say, lying was just easier for me than telling you the truth. So this person could have really tried to, I'm feeling, almost make you jealous at a certain point in time over kind of the direction that they had moved, really putting on this, projecting this exterior of being very happy, being very satisfied, finding what they were searching for in life, but that this is something which kind of that veneer wore off pretty quickly. With this person, that they started to really recognize some of the underlying qualities of a partner they may have chosen over you as not being in alignment with kind of who they are as a person, of what they want for themselves in the long run. But kind of pride was keeping them just sort of maintaining that illusion, or almost that energy of trying to overcompensate to kind of mask the deficiencies and the sense of disappointment and kind of regret over kind of the way that they handled things, or sort of the truth that unveiled itself about the nature of this other circumstance, this third party that they moved in the direction of. And they also say, I can't seem to find the right words to say to you. So this feels like somebody who knows an apology is owed. Maybe even a sense of you had warned this person that the energy that they were entertaining was, a little bit superficial or not, everything that it seemed to be, or you kept trying to remind this person of the connection between the both of you, trying to really point out the ways, the compatibility between you, sort of this deep connection, this deep resonance, and that this person chose to kind of ignore or move in the other direction from, or even just the means in which they kind of broke things off with you, harsh words that were said, that were spoken, that have really been lingering with this person. They know that they need to come to you and let you know that you were right about somebody, you were right about a choice that was made or a direction that they were heading, or to really apologize for the manner in which they cut things off with you previously. But at this point in time, it's they're still in this phase of kind of holding up that illusion, starting not to care if people see beyond it, if cracks really show in the surface of that. Somebody who's kind of just very overwhelmed with the burden of that, with kind of the burden of presenting this very put together exterior that everything is fine between them and maybe this other person, or that they're a really good place in their life. So it feels like somebody who's kind of at the point of really allowing all these masks to crumble, and until they do, it seems to be it'll just be more of this silence, more of what you've been accustomed to up to this point with this person. And they also say, I'm in a much better headspace now. So some clarity has come to this person about truth versus illusion, some illusions they were maintaining about a particular person, about what they were claiming that they wanted out of a partner, out of a direction that they had moved, and kind of the reality of things, sort of the true nature of this other person, or this, this way of being that has really revealed itself to them. This feeling that they were kind of in this alone, even if they were in a connection with somebody else. It's bringing some clarity to them. It's some harsh truth about maybe moving away from you and from the potential to have an equal partnership, have somebody who really cared about them, who really was cognizant of kind of this person's fluctuations in mood, somebody who would really kind of want to carry the burdens through life with them, as opposed to somebody who maybe was very kind of demanding and had a lot of expectations that their needs be met, but was really not interested in kind of contributing to meeting those needs as a team. And so it's something which, through these harsh truths and these harsh realities, this person is coming to a place of resolve, kind of formulating this plan forward, this plan to kind of move beyond the circumstances that they find themselves with, and create this energy of rebirth for themselves, both in terms of this connection and their life in general at this point. So let's see, what else does this person want to say? Group 3. And they say, you are always around me. I just need my space. Please don't take it personal. So that's that energy of this person maybe going within, needing to really figure things out. They're still feeling you. They're still feeling this connection. But any kind of silence or sort of a lack of action at this point in time, although kind of the illusions are crumbling about the circumstances they presently find themselves in, this is not on account of a lack of feeling for you, or a lack of feeling the connection, even despite what they may have said in the past, or kind of the abrupt manner in which they may have cut things off, leaving you, with a lot of hurt feelings, a lot of heaviness, a lot of confusion. that this is something this person wants to move in the direction of kind of unsticking this, providing that explanation or that apology to hopefully create the opportunity for a rebirth, create the opportunity to kind of move in a better direction, to pick up where you left off, or to make a choice that they feel they should have made previously. And they also say, I am always on guard because I don't know how you will react when I speak my truth. Please be open to what I have to say. So again, more of that energy of sort of hesitation, recognizing that, you know, the actions that they took in the past were very hurtful. It was the wrong choice to make. The way in which they may have cut things off with you, and almost this energy of trying to make you jealous of the life that they built or whoever else that they were with. They're seeing this as kind of very petty and low vibrational behavior on their part, that was really motivated almost from a place of wanting to overcompensate. Kind of this sense that as soon as the choice was made, as soon as they had kind of cut things off with you and moved in another direction, it was very immediate, this sinking feeling that they just kind of put themselves in a bind. They kind of walked into a trap. And it was a sense of, you know, just kind of more and more as time was going on and more experiences were happening with this other person, that it was depleting any kind of, you know, this feeling of desire that they may have had, kind of this all that glitters isn't gold energy. And, you know, as time went on, progressively that kind of exterior, that sort of mask was crumbling away as they, you know, were seeing deeper into this other person, as they were really experiencing the energetic exchange between them in this other partnership. You know, it was becoming more and more apparent to them that a wrong choice had been made, that this was not the best fit for them, that the relationship really in the long term was going to prove to be lackluster. And as time went on, it feels like it definitely it met up to that feeling, up to that sensation. And so this could be somebody who really wants to, again, kind of come to you with this truth about that you were right, that they made a wrong choice, that they took you for granted, that they're sorry, but they're very understanding of their actions and their behaviors in the past, and perhaps also that pettiness that just, it added unnecessary hurt. It kind of to seek to push you away, or to in some way kind of extinguish these feelings that they had for you inside, in the sense of having made the wrong choice. And so instead of course correcting earlier on, they just sought to kind of try to extinguish that, to try to block that out, to try and, you know, overcompensate in other ways, to try to kind of get other people to be very envious of them, or really applaud them on kind of the exterior of what they had with them, or a certain person or a partner that they had on their arm or by their side. But it was something where sort of the thrill, the rush of that, it was very short-lived. And it was something which, you know, it almost led to them feeling more and more guilt inside, kind of a sickening feeling of being very inauthentic, and really stemming from a low vibrational place. And they also say, please give me another chance. So there's that energy of rebirth. This person really hoping that your heart will be open to them. They feel very much, though, in this energy, kind of part of that depression is understanding that, you know, it would take a miracle for you to let them back in. That whatever was said, the methods, kind of the pettiness, the immaturity at which this person acted towards you in the past, they're not really confident that a new opportunity can be reached with you. This feels like somebody who, you know, is still going to move forward, is still going to move away from whatever this present connection or circumstances that they find themselves in the hope that it can open the door to something with you, or kind of a reunion energy in the future. But it's also something where they're recognizing that, you know, this connection, this situation, it might be kind of permanently stuck in this position of blockage, of barrier, that it's not going to be easy to kind of move beyond that. Trust is going to be something that's going to have to be gradually built, and might not be given to them because of what took place in the past. So I'm going to get a few more messages for you, group 3. What does this person have to say? Okay, and they say, my heart aches to reconcile. So again, more of that energy of rebirth, hoping for a new beginning with you, hoping that you will allow them in, that you will hear them out. You will listen to kind of what they have learned, the changes that have been made by them, kind of the clarity that has come to them, that it's something where you'll be forgiving. You'll be open to rebuilding this connection again, to kind of when this person comes back armed with the wisdom that the grass wasn't in fact greener. They're hoping that your heart will still be receptive to them in the way that it was previously. And they also say, I really do care. So despite what they might have said or done in the past, any kind of energy of pettiness or any kind of last vestiges of this sort of facade of being very happy where they are, very content with their choices, that is just kind of a mask which is in the process of crumbling, and in a way that they're getting kind of sloppy with it. They're not really caring. They're not caring if it's very convincing anymore. And what really is starting to kind of permeate from this person, what is that kind of illusion is giving way to, is this truth, this constancy of the feelings that they have for you, this desire to move in your direction, this truth that you are the person who is in fact most resonant with them. You are the person who they can see themselves building with in a very partnership oriented sense. A lot of teamwork going into this, a lot of give and take, a lot of mutual respect and reciprocity toward building a life that is fulfilling to both of you, very much in alignment with each other's goals, uplifting each other, supporting each other through thick and thin, something which they weren't able to find or experience in other connections with another person, or in maybe a series of relationships where they've tried to date around or tried to find that perfect person, that one, and they've not been able to come close to replicating kind of the vibration, the resonance between the both of you. And they also say, deep down, I was committed. So that can also speak to, again, this person, almost this sinking feeling that they had pretty immediately when they cut things off with you, that a wrong choice was made, that this is moving them in a direction further away from their truth. It was kind of moving them further along the path toward unhappiness. And it's something where, that has stuck with them, that has lingered with them, and has in fact contributed to almost this energy of pettiness, wanting to kind of make you jealous, so that in the hopes that it would kind of unstick this energetic bond between the both of you, not really understanding sort of the entwined nature of your souls, and understanding that pain to one is pain to the other. So kind of this boomerang effect, where what they were trying to kind of implement to you or project onto you, it in fact just perpetuated more of that within their own experience. And so it's something where they're starting to understand you as wish fulfillment, like with that 10 of Pentacles, the direction that they would like to move in, kind of raising their vibration, raising out of kind of a low density or toxic or codependent relationship, and stepping more into the energy of reciprocity and freedom. So I'm going to get a guidance card for you now about this situation in group 3. See what does Spirit have to say. Okay, and we have forgiveness. Angel wisdom reminds you that challenging people and situations are sent to you as your most important teachers. Without them, your soul would not grow. Your guidance is to let go of the hurt, resentment, and anger of the past. When you forgive others and yourself, your karma is rubbed out of your soul records. You will enjoy love in your heart and lightness of spirit. Ask the angels to help you dissolve your hurt, anger, and guilt. They will take your burdens from you. When you love unconditionally, there is nothing to forgive. Love is forgiving, so open your heart and give love. And the affirmation is, I forgive myself and others. I am free. So this is really feeling like guidance to, maybe do some cord cutting meditations with this person, energetically speaking. Seek to extract from yourself any kind of thorns or roots of pain that have been implanted by the experiences with this person. You're being tasked to free yourself. And by doing that, you can help to free this person as well. Forgiveness is not something which needs to be expressed to others. It is in fact something that is primarily for one's own benefit, to kind of raise your vibration, to uplift yourself, to unfetter yourself from kind of the burden of resentment that is carried around. And, you know, if you feel drawn, if this person approaches you with this offer of apology, this, you know, this request of forgiveness, and you feel drawn to giving this another chance, to really taking this person at face value, to, you know, feeling into things energetically and starting over fresh with them, then definitely follow your guidance, follow your intuition. But this is something also, this can talk about this apology that is delivered to you, and that can do a lot for kind of easing some of that burden of suffering that you've been carrying around, this confusion, the hurt over this person's actions, over any ensuing pettiness or kind of mind games that they may have been really engaged in with you in the days and kind of the time that followed this kind of separation between the both of you. So the most important thing is, you know, that you embark on this journey of really forgiving yourself for participating in any kind of back and forth cycles with this person, allowing this person to make you feel like an option, or making you feel like you weren't good enough, that you didn't have something worthwhile to offer in terms of love, any ways that it's really eroded your self-esteem or kind of made your confidence a bit shaky, that now is the time to really, you know, take your power back in the same way that this person is kind of in their process of taking their power back from some of these situations, from, you know, this relationship, this kind of toxic and one-sided relationship that they found themselves in as well, that they find themselves stuck in to a certain degree. This is also an opportunity for you to kind of unstick yourself energetically, even at a distance from this person, connecting with them on the 5D level. You know, maybe even journaling or using kind of art therapy in some way to kind of purge these feelings, this lingering kind of density from you, so that you can open yourself up to the highest potential of love that wants to come in for you. To continue to hold on to the pain of this experience, it can kind of serve as a wedge, even with future partners, other love that comes in for you. And it's something that you really owe it to yourself, you owe it to your heart, you owe it to the person that you choose as your long-term and forever person. You owe it to them as well to really do this work to kind of cleanse yourself of this circumstance, of the kind of the energetic residue of what has occurred with this person, this kind of this sticky, stuck energy of just kind of, again, uncertainty and feelings of maybe not being worthy, not being deserving, or, you know, any of the kind of the hurt or the irritation, the anger or the sadness that this person, through their actions and kind of even that element of maybe trying to make you jealous over their circumstances, what that has kind of done for you, what that has kind of left as an energetic residue, a signature in your auric field, that now's the time to really address this, really purge that. And by doing that, it can definitely help to kind of hasten the opportunity for a fresh start with this person, if that's something you're interested in. Or at the least, it can, you know, really open you up for a fresh start within yourself, for new love to come in and for you to meet that and really welcome that into your heart, into your life, without all the baggage being attached from previous experiences and difficulties and heartbreaks, and especially as it pertains to this person, so that you can move more into a space of trust, instead of a space of kind of skepticism or paranoia that cycles will continue to repeat themselves. By doing this work, you bring yourself out of the state that at one point in time, you know, attracted these kind of experiences as a lesson in empowerment, as a lesson in you saying kind of enough is enough, and taking your power back, recognizing your own worth, filling your own cup, standing boldly in that declaration that you are enough, you are worthy and deserving, and your worth is not dictated by others' ability to recognize that, see that, and act upon it. So I'm going to get some initials for you now, group 3, and this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Okay, so we have G, D, X, Q, B, L, E, H, K, R, Z, U, and W. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.